Okay, let's unpack this. We've all heard that traditional path, right?
Yeah.
Study hard, get good grades.
Find a high-paying job with great benefits. Yeah, the standard advice.
The master plan many of us grew up hearing. But well, what if that advice just doesn't cut it anymore in this, rapidly changing world?
Exactly, and that's what's so interesting.
Today we're diving deep into Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a book that doesn't just challenge the old ideas about money in school.
No, it really flips them on their
It
heads.
kind of revolutionizes it.
What's really fascinating, I think, is the core premise. The world has changed dramatically, but the financial advice, often it just hasn't kept pace.
Right. Still stuck in the past.
So our mission here in this deep dive is to pull out the most important insights, really help you understand why those conventional paths might not lead to financial freedom.
And what alternatives there actually are. What different ways of thinking and acting.
hmm The book basically suggests we need a different kind of education, one focused on, well, financial literacy.
Something schools largely don't provide.
Pretty much, yeah.
We'll look at why this mother, who is an accountant, suddenly started questioning everything she thought she knew.
All because her son just came out and said it.
Yeah, the richest people didn't get rich because of their educations.
Mm.
Pretty blunt.
It definitely makes you stop and think.
So yeah, this deep dive is about finding some genuinely new answers to these old, really pressing questions.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so the book throws us right in. This couple, the so-called poor dad in the story, they did everything right by the old rules.
Followed the master plan, exactly. Good education, secure jobs, worked hard.
But then they find themselves without the old pension plans,
Yeah.
facing these growing retirement contributions they have to manage themselves,
And then their son pipes up, totally disillusioned with school.
highlighting this stark reality. College grads often earning less now. Job security feels like a myth.
And even Social Security, pensions. They feel uncertain, shaky.
It really raises a critical question then, doesn't it? If the world isn't the 1940s industrial age anymore,
Right. If that security model's gone.
what are the new dangers of clinging to that old advice?
And that's where the source introduces Robert Kiyosaki and his educational game, cash flow.
Which illustrates what he calls the rat race.
Yeah, vividly.
And the rat race is not just a catchy phrase, it's like a detailed map of the typical path.
The path for the average, educated, hardworking person.
You go to school, get the grades, land that supposedly secure, job, doctor, lawyer, whatever.
Your money comes in.
Then the credit cards arrive, the shopping starts,
Then maybe 2 incomes, bigger house, more kids.
which means working harder, chasing promotions, raises,
But then the taxes hit harder too.
Yeah.
Income tax, property tax, Social Security.
and you're still left wondering, where did all the money actually go?
It's this relentless cycle. You end up working for your boss, for the government, for the bank.
Trapped for your whole working life.
And then what do? You tell your kids to follow the same path.
It's kind of crazy when you lay it out like that.
Looking at the bigger picture, the rat race is just a really stark, almost brutal example of financial illiteracy in action.
In that cash flow game you mentioned.
Right. It's set up like Monopoly, but with this inner rat race track and an outer fast track.
And getting out of the rat race onto the fast track.
It requires skill, proficiency, specifically in accounting and investing.
Subjects most of us didn't really master in school.
Or weren't even properly taught, honestly, which leaves this huge knowledge gap, even for highly educated people. It's not about luck. It's about knowing the rules of the financial game.
So if the rat race is the trap, what's Kiyosaki's first kind of radical step to get out?
It goes back to his childhood. He asked his poor dad, his educated father, how to get rich.
And that led him to learn from his friend Mike's dad, the rich dad.
Yep, the one who hadn't even finished 8th grade.
In his first lesson, it sounds almost bizarre, paying them just 10 cents an hour for really boring work.
Excruciatingly boring, yeah. And then, even more surprisingly, paying them nothing at all.
Why? What was the point of that?
Well, it seemed cruel, but it was designed to teach a really profound truth.
Which is?
The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them.
Okay.
By paying nothing, Rich Dad wanted to force them, basically, to use their minds, to find solutions, instead of just reacting to needing a paycheck.
Ah, I see. Not just chasing the next dollar.
Exactly. He saw how fear of bills, getting fired, not having enough, and greed, wanting stuff money can buy.
How those emotions trap people.
They trap most people in this cycle of working harder, maybe getting raises, but never actually getting smarter about money. It's about breaking free from being driven by those emotions.
Kiyosaki also learned that anger, if you channel it right, can actually be a powerful motivator.
Yeah, part of the passion needed for real learning, for change.
And he saw how the government, as he puts it, always takes his share first.
Taxes when you earn, when you spend, when you save.
Even when you die.
Right. And the key observation was that the rich, they don't just let that happen. They play the game differently.
Which brings us to another really core idea. Financial literacy.
Absolutely
It's
foundational.
not just about how much money you make.
Yeah.
That's what most people focus on.
Right. It's about how much you keep. And, crucially, how long you can keep it generating wealth for how many generations.
He uses this analogy of building the Empire State Building. You wouldn't put it on a flimsy foundation, right? Like a 6-inch concrete slab.
Of course not. That would be insane.
Yet the book argues that's kind of what most people do financially. They try to build wealth without a strong foundation.
Leading to what he calls the leaning tower of suburbia, a precarious situation.
So what is that foundation then?
Okay, this is maybe the most important single distinction in the book. The absolute core of financial literacy, according to Rich Dad, is knowing the difference between an asset and a liability.
Asset versus liability.
And then
Yeah.
consistently buying assets. That's it. Sounds simple.
Okay, define them simply.
An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket.
That's simple.
Fundamentally, yes. But the implications are huge.
So, okay, my house. Everyone says it's my biggest asset.
Well, according to this framework, if it's mainly taking money out of your pocket, mortgage, property taxes, insurance, upkeep,
Which it usually is.
then it's actually functioning as a liability.
Wow. Okay. That's a perspective shift.
Definitely. And the book shows these really clear cash flow patterns to illustrate it.
Right. For the poor.
Income comes in from a job, goes straight out to expenses, nothing left.
Middle class.
Income from the job goes to expenses, and to pay for liabilities they think are assets like the house mortgage, car loans, credit cards, no real asset column being built.
And the wealthy?
Their income comes primarily from their assets, stocks, bonds, rental properties, businesses, intellectual property.
And that income covers their expenses.
Covers expenses, and the surplus gets reinvested back into buying more assets. It's a completely different flow.
It connects to that Buckminster-Fuller definition of wealth you mentioned.
Exactly. Wealth isn't just net worth on paper. It's how many days forward could you survive if you stopped working today?
Survivability. Measured by cash flow from assets versus your expenses.
Mm-hmm. It shifts the whole focus from just having stuff to having financial freedom and time.
Okay, lesson 3. Mind your own business. You mentioned Ray Kroc.
Yeah, the McDonald's founder famously told an MBA class his business wasn't hamburgers.
It was real estate.
Yeah.
Underneath all those restaurants.
Exactly. And that highlights this third secret. Mind your own business.
What does that mean practically?
Well, think about it. Most people spend their whole lives working hard, but for someone else's business.
Their employer's business.
Right. Or the government's business through taxes, or the bank's business through debt and interest.
They're building someone else's asset column.
Precisely. And neglecting their own. Kiyosaki argues financial struggle often comes directly from that misdirection.
So the focus needs to shift. Not just trying to get a raise or a promotion.
Which is still working in someone else's business.
But actively building your own asset column. That's your real business.
Mm-hmm. That's the key.
So what counts as a real asset in this view?
The book lists several categories. Things like businesses that can run without you needing to be there physically.
Okay, passive income potential.
Right. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, income-generating real estate, notes or IOUs, royalties from intellectual property like books or patents.
Things that put money in your pocket.
Consistently. And here's a crucial difference in behavior. The rich buy luxuries last.
After their assets are generating enough income.
Yes. They let the assets pay for the luxuries, the poor and middle class. They tend to buy luxuries first.
Often on credit.
Which just digs the hole deeper, increases their liabilities, keeps them in the rat race.
Let's shift to taxes and corporations. This was interesting, the Robin Hood analogy.
Yeah, it's a provocative way to look at the history of income tax.
Originally temporary, for wars, then permanent, initially just for the rich.
But the government's need for money grew.
And eventually, the taxes trickled down to the middle and poor classes. The very people who might have supported it initially thinking it wouldn't affect them.
Mm-hmm. And the connection here is that the rich understood something crucial early on, the power of the corporation.
As a legal structure.
Yes, corporations became popular way back in the age of sailing ships, partly to limit risk on dangerous voyages, but they also became this powerful vehicle for tax advantages.
Now so.
The big one Kiyosaki highlights is that a corporation can often pay its expenses before it pays taxes on its income. An individual earns, gets taxed, then spends what's left.
The order matters.
It matters hugely. Now, it's important to say this involves understanding legal structures, using them correctly.
Not playing games, but understanding the rules.
Exactly. It requires professional advice. But Kiyosaki emphasizes 4 key areas of what he calls financial IQ.
Okay, what are they?
1, accounting, financial literacy, being able to read the numbers.
Yeah.
Investing, the science or maybe art of making money. Recognizing opportunities.
3.
Understanding markets, supply and demand, both the sort of emotional, technical side and the fundamental economic sense of things.
And 4.
Law, knowing how to use structures like corporations for legitimate tax advantages and asset protection.
So Rich Dad's advice wasn't climb the corporate ladder.
No, it was own the ladder.
Build your own system.
Right. Use financial knowledge and legal structures to create wealth in a way an employee typically just can't.
Okay, next up. The rich invent money and the Alexander Graham Bell story.
Yeah, offering Western Union his telephone patent for $100,000.
And they scoffed at him, turned him down flat.
And missed out on a multi-billion-dollar industry because they couldn't see the potential.
What's the lesson there?
That financial genius isn't just about technical knowledge or numbers. It also takes, well, courage. Boldness, vision.
Seeing what others don't see.
Exactly. And in today's world, the information age, wealth isn't just tied to land or factories anymore. It's increasingly about timely information.
And having the guts to act on it.
Mm-hmm. Old ideas like clinging to that notion of job security, they actually become liabilities now. They hold you back.
And the cash flow game you mentioned teaches players
to think creatively, to invent financial options. It shows that success often comes from solving problems in new ways, understanding that money itself is kind of an illusion.
Held together by fear and greed, as he says.
Yeah, it's about seeing past that, finding opportunities.
So, wrapping up the core lessons, what's the final one? Work to learn.
Work to learn, don't work for money. This is huge.
Meaning?
Talent alone isn't enough. Think about how many brilliant artists or scientists struggle financially.
Right. They might be geniuses in their field.
But they lack other crucial skills, like sales, marketing, communication, negotiation.
Skills needed to turn talent into income.
Precisely. Kiyosaki argues that overspecialization can actually be a trap. It makes you too dependent on one narrow field, one employer.
So
focus on acquiring a broader range of management skills. He highlights cash flow management, systems management, and people management. Learn how the whole business works, not just one piece of it.
Okay, so even if you grasp all these concepts, understand assets versus liabilities, learn about taxes, people still get stuck.
Oh, absolutely. There are major internal roadblocks. The book identifies 5 main ones.
Which are fear,
cynicism,
laziness,
bad habits,
and arrogance. Let's break those down. Fear first. Fear of losing money.
Probably the biggest one for most people starting out, Rich Dad's advice or rhyme, was if you hate risk and worry, start early.
Let compounding work for you.
Exactly. Time heals investment wounds. And interestingly, he advises focusing your investments, not just blindly diversifying everything. He points to figures like Edison, Gates, Trump.
People who went deep and focused intensely.
Right, rather than spreading themselves too thin. Requires conviction, though.
Okay, number 2, cynicism.
Ah, the cynic, as the saying goes. Cynics criticize and winners analyze.
Like that story of the guy Richard, who backed out of buying a townhome for $42,000.
Only to watch it soar in value later. Why? Because he listened to the noise, the doubts from others, his own internal fears.
Paralyzed by what-ifs.
Exactly. And cynicism often masks fear. Even your I don't want to fix toilets if I buy rental property.
Yeah, come objection.
That shouldn't stop you. It should lead you to think, okay, how can I own rental property without fixing toilets?
Find a property manager.
Right. It opens up possibilities instead of shutting them down.
3rd, laziness.
Mm-hmm.
But not necessarily couch potato laziness.
No, often it's the opposite. It manifests as staying busy, being constantly occupied to avoid facing the real financial issue.
Right, that mindset of I can't afford it.
Which just shuts down your brain. The question should always be, okay, how can I afford it? That forces you to think, to find solutions.
Fourth, bad habits. What's the main one here?
The biggest one is not paying yourself first. Most people get paid, then immediately pay their bills, their creditors, the tax man. Everyone else gets paid first.
And if there's anything left over, maybe they save or invest?
Usually there isn't much left. The rich, they do the opposite. They prioritize funding their asset column first as soon as income arrives.
Even if it means being short for bills temporarily.
He argues that pressure can actually be motivating. It forces you to find other ways to generate income to cover those bills rather than raiding your investment capital. For the rich, savings aren't just for paying bills, they're for creating more money.
And the last obstacle, arrogance.
Defined simply as ego plus ignorance.
Believing what you don't know isn't important.
Or worse, pretending you know things you don't to protect your ego. A truly intelligent person, financially or otherwise, welcomes new ideas. They seek out experts. They know listening is usually more valuable than talking.
So overcoming these, it starts with being a better student.
A better student, a better teacher, because teaching reinforces learning, adopting a habit of giving, being generous.
And humility.
Yeah.
Being willing to learn.
Absolutely. Choosing growth over protecting your ego.
Okay, we've covered a ton of philosophy, the mindset shifts. But people want action steps.
Yeah.
What does the book suggest for actually getting started?
Right. Theory is one thing, doing is another. Kiyosaki provides a pretty concrete 10-step roadmap.
Let's hear them. Number 1.
Have a reason greater than reality. You need a powerful emotional drive, a strong want, like freedom, travel, helping others, and a strong don't want, like avoiding a life of drudgery or financial worry. That's your fuel.
Number 2.
Choose daily. Realize that every single dollar, every pound, every euro that passes through your hands represents a choice about your financial future. Spend it wisely.
3.
Invest first in education. Before you jump into buying stocks or real estate, invest time and maybe some money in learning about investing. Seminars, books, podcasts like this one, find mentors.
4. Choose friends carefully.
The power of association. Surround yourself with people who are financially savvy, or at least curious and positive. Avoid the chicken littles, the constant pessimists who only see risk and doom.
The ones who say the sky is always falling.
Exactly. Smart investors don't necessarily try to time markets perfectly, but they position themselves to catch the next wave based on knowledge, not fear.
5.
Master a formula, then learn a new one. Don't just stick to the formula of working for money. Learn different strategies, different formulas for making money work for you. Real estate, stocks, starting a business. Learn one, master it, then maybe add another.
6. Pay yourself first. We talked about this.
Crucial. Cultivate that self-discipline. Prioritize your asset column relentlessly.
7. Be an Indian giver. That sounds odd.
Yeah, the term is dated and potentially offensive, but the concept he's describing is about capital recovery. Look for investments where you can get your initial investment money back relatively quickly.
For your capital isn't tied up forever.
Right. Get your seed money back fast. Let the asset continue to work for you, essentially for free, generating cash flow or appreciating. It lowers your risk. He means be a capital returner.
Okay, 8. Assets buy luxuries.
We touched on this too. Build the asset base first. Let it generate the income to pay for the boat, the fancy car, the nice holidays. Don't go into debt for them.
Fine. The need for heroes.
Find people who have succeeded in the way you want to succeed. Study them. Emulate their mindset, their strategies. Learn from their successes and failures.
And finally, 10.
Teach and you shall receive. When you teach something to someone else, you have to understand it deeply yourself. It reinforces your own knowledge and often brings new insights.
He also gives some really practical, almost street smart tips, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, less philosophical, more hands-on.
Like, stop doing what's not working. If your current strategy isn't getting results, change it. Simple but profound.
Look for new ideas everywhere. Bookstores, seminars, online forums, just talking to people. Keep learning.
Take action. This seems key. Don't just read and think forever. Do something.
Find someone who's already done what you want to do. Ask them how. Take a course. Make an offer.
He talks about making lots of offers on property or businesses.
Yeah, with escape clauses, of course. Treat it partly as a numbers game. Most offers won't be accepted, but you only need a few good ones. Don't be afraid to try.
And that tip about jogging or walking an area regularly.
To spot changes, new construction, businesses closing or opening, for sale signs popping up, noticing trends before everyone else does, finding opportunities on the ground.
Understand why consumers stay poor.
Right. They panic and run away when the stock market has a sale, a crash, but they flock to the mall when department stores have sales. Opposite thinking.
Look in the right places for closures, not just standard listings.
Find motivated sellers. Think outside the box.
Look for buyers first, then find sellers.
Yeah, the buy the pie and cut it in pieces idea. Find out what people want to buy, then go find a way to structure a deal to give it to them, often by acquiring something larger and subdividing it. Think bigger.
Learn from history. Patterns repeat.
Definitely. Market cycles, human behavior.
And maybe the most important practical tip, action always beats inaction.
Absolutely. You can analyze forever, but wealth is built by doing.
So, bringing it all together, the big picture takeaway.
I think it fundamentally challenges that old saying, it takes money to make money.
Instead,
Instead, it suggests money is really just an idea. Wealth creation starts not with having cash, but with changing your thinking, acquiring financial intelligence.
like that story of his friend turning $7,000 into college funds in early retirement.
Exactly. By thinking differently about real estate deals, understanding taxes, taking calculated risks based on knowledge, not just working harder at a job.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
You've got two incredible gifts, right? Your mind and your time.
And every dollar, every day, is a choice.
You can spend it foolishly, choose to be poor. You can spend it on liabilities, maybe look middle class, but stay trapped.
Or you can invest it, first in your mind, learning how to acquire assets.
Choosing wealth, choosing financial freedom as your goal in your future, the choice really is yours every day, with every dollar.
So the final thought to leave everyone with.
It's this. We live in a world of constant change, increasing uncertainty. That old advice, play it safe, might actually be the riskiest path now.
So the question is,
Are you going to keep playing it safe according to outdated rules? Or will you choose to play it smart? Will you awaken your own financial genius, learn the new rules, and finally make money work for you?